Whoa. New location unlocked. We're in a new location today. So that's why everything's weird. The quality's weird. I'm weird, you know? So yeah, deal with it. I still wanted to yap with you guys and talk to you guys and chit chat and laugh and giggle and kick our feet together. So we're gonna do that. And I think there's no better topic to talk about other than GameFly. Yeah, some of you just went, did you just say GameFly? Yeah, you haven't heard that name in years. Probably ever since you watched like Cartoon Network as a kid, because I always saw the GameFly commercials anytime I was watching Cartoon Network as a kid. But yeah, I have come to find out GameFly is very much still around and very much still a company doing things. Obviously, if they're still around, they're still a company. Okay, whatever. Say. You know what I mean? And maybe some of you guys might not know what GameFly is, and let me explain it to you. So GameFly is basically like old Netflix in a sense where you would pay like a monthly subscription, and depending on the subscription you picked, you would either get like 1 DVD a month to rent or 2. But this is with video games, not TV and media and movies. And this is all physical media, so nothing is digital. So you would pick the game you want, it would be shipped to your door, and then you could pretty much play it for as long as you want before you send it back. And that's pretty much what they're doing still today. The same old script, but now in 2025. And I think we all see it, you know, subscription-based gaming is popping up everywhere. But like, renting physical games in a world where it feels like you don't even own your games anymore. But who knows? I don't know. Let's see. Is GameFly worth it in 2025? Let's check it out. So the renting format for GameFly is all physical. There is no digital renting there at all. Before we even say anything, I love physical media. Don't even be like, bitch, do you even like physical media? I love physical media. Hello? I didn't really know what to say after that. I feel like that was really aggressive. Anyway, sorry. So you can basically rent anything from your PS5, a PlayStation 4, Xbox, Xbox One, even like older systems. I'm pretty sure they have some games that you can rent, which brings me to buying games. You can actually now buy games on GameFly. And they're all obviously used games, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like half of the games I own, probably I want to say like 85% of the games I own are used games.
And I actually think it's really awesome that GameFly had started doing that, selling used games. Because previously, you would still need the subscription to buy these used games on GameFly. Now it just gives you the option to buy them without having to subscribe to anything. I mean, obviously they'll be like, hey, you get this like discount if you're a subscriber. And I was honestly quite shocked at some of like the newer games that they were already selling on GameFly, which again, this would be very useful if I was a console user with a lot of like the newer games nowadays. Because if I'm gonna play Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, I'm gonna play that on my PC. But like I said, if you're a console user, honestly, kind of like a sick place to be. Granted, I don't even know really though, like when you receive the actual game, like the quality of it. And maybe one day I'll cave and buy something off of GameFly, but I always think to myself, like, what if it comes in the mail and it's just like those really shitty printed like game case covers with no manual, no nothing, because it doesn't really give you a description of like what you're going to get. Because I also hope it's not a case where they're only just selling you like the disc itself.
And like the gaming environment nowadays, you can quite literally go and buy a game anywhere with no subscription. And the thing with the subscription is that's what keeps you in the ecosystem, their ecosystem. Did I use that in a smart way? Ecosystem? You know what I mean? It's kind of like a gatekeeping move, like you're paying for more access. Because like once you start paying monthly, you are more likely to keep like renting and buying from them. I also just found out too, because GameFly's whole thing is, you know, physical media, there's no digital download. GameFly used to have a digital PC store. Back in like 2012, 2015, you can actually buy and download PC games directly from GameFly's website. And they even let you manage your library through like a separate client. As we all know, this was initially shut down because it all started when GameFly acquired a company called Direct to Drive from IGN in 2011. And that platform became the backbone of their digital storefront. But despite the effort, it didn't really catch on. Steam has always been pretty much dominating that market. So it's really hard to stand out from something that's already so saturated and already so like well implemented. So GameFly's digital side never got that traction. So like by 2014, What a good year. What a good year. Sorry, don't mean to sidetrack there. What a good year. I was 14. What a good year. Anyway, they stopped selling the digital codes, and then by 2015, the whole store was just shut down completely, and they returned direct to drive to like the owners. So now I'm stuck on the whole renting thing, right? Like when I saw that the website was live and active and like a full ass thing, I was just kind of like, who the fuck is renting games in 2025? Like there's always that aspect of like games are $70 now, and it's kind of like a gamble if it's even gonna like, you know, work or be worth it, because AAA game companies hate you and they hate every single thing about you and your loved ones, so you should feel bad. So like renting, it lets you play the full thing for like a few days without having to like commit. And I could see this being like useful. Maybe you're just like a very casual gamer. You're not, you know, sitting down on Steam every single day going, what's for sale? What's on my wish list? But if like you're the casual gamer, why are you paying a monthly subscription, you know? And I say casual gamer in like the sense, like this person may literally only be buying like 1 or 2 games a year. So technically speaking, like you could rent 3 to 4 games a month for the price of like 1 full title. You know, the subscriptions on there are all kind of like broken up into like tiers, as many subscriptions are. You guys aren't dumb, you fucking know that. GameFly also lets you keep like the rental for as long as you want. Like if you're doing like the lowest subscription, you won't be able to get your next game unless you send that one back. And you might think to yourself like, holy shit, like I can just hold on to this game, pretty sick. But then if you're just holding on to that game for like, I don't know, 4 months, the same game, you're paying $18 a month for that one game. So you're not really getting your money's worth out of this whole thing, because it kind of just defeats the whole point unless like you're milking it. But back to the whole keeping it as long as you want thing, that means sometimes someone's holding on to the game you want and there are no copies available. So because it can lead to frustration if you're like waiting for a new game and it's literally just checked out all the time. And like obviously that's gonna feel slow if you compare it to like Xbox Game Pass, because you're not gonna get that copy unless who's ever holding on to it returns it back. Because if the games you're like, let's say they're also very popular games you really want to play and they're never available, you're just kind of paying this subscription to, you know, maybe rent or play other games you don't even like give a shit about, right? So is GameFly worth it? Why is it around? Many questions going through my head right now. I don't think I answered anything I wanted to answer. I'm sorry. But if you love trying lots of physical games without committing to like the full purchase prices, I get that part, you know? Maybe this is all for you then. But if you want that like instant access, ownership, I think there's probably multitude of different and better options for you out there. So